lot about the great history of the Black Fives. Of course, we know when I talk about this amazing collaboration with 47 brand. Could you tell us maybe, just for introduction, how this collaboration came about and yeah.
Sure, yeah, thank you for that. So there's a guy at 47 brand, his name is Jared Wheeler, and he's the historian. And so one day, when I got to know him when he was working at Mitchell & Ness years ago, but it was during the time that we were doing our jerseys. And we got a little bit of help from Mitchell & Ness during that time, and got to know him, so I was in the office sometimes. And years later, we did a museum exhibition at the New York Historical Society. This was last year. And he came down for that. And out of the blue, I got a call saying, hey, we're 47 brand, we'd like to work with you, we're really interested, we want to do something, you know, in terms of apparel and accessories to help celebrate this history. So they came down, I gave them a tour of the exhibition, and they, you know, I was very impressed with 47. I mean, obviously, I actually had some old 47 caps, you know, in my closet, and they proposed this really amazing story and collection and strategy from multiple years, not just one quick drop of something. And then the way they did it was really innovative. They contacted 7 of the most popular, leading, trendy, exclusive boutiques in the United States, and matched them up with the city for the Black Fives team. So we have 7 Black Fives era teams in this inaugural collection. And each of the teams is designed by the local boutique to interpret it in their own local way. So they were Hall of Fame in Los Angeles, Shop 412 in Pittsburgh, Leaders in Chicago, Villa, which is formerly Sneaker Villa in Philadelphia, Reed Space in the Lower East Side in New York City, Major in Washington, D.C. And then they also had, the Independent Pleasure Club was Packer Shoes in New Jersey. All of these, I mean, if you're a hip-hop, apparel, streetwear aficionado, everyone knows who those are, especially if you come to the States, everybody already knows. And if you visit, that's where you go. People know, okay, I'm going to LA, I'm going to this guy, I'm going to this guy, I'm going to these guys. So it was really clever because it meant that their loyal fans were immediately going to embrace these teams. Because partly the story, it's not obvious. It takes some storytelling. You have to tell the story. It's a little bit like, whoa, what is this? But once people find out, then they're very interested. And with the popularity of the NBA and just basketball in general, now suddenly there's a connection that people make in their head. And now they also make the connection to that retailer. So that's an industry first, that there's never been a collection created by collaboration with trendy streetwear boutiques in the United States. Maybe 1 or 2, but not the entire collection. And of course we also have the Black Fives branded version of that, which was just done in-house by 47. But the other thing that was an industry first is that this is the first time there's been a major sports lifestyle apparel collection that was produced under license with a public charity. So, you know, we're a charity, we're a nonprofit, 501c3, we're tax exempt in the United States, and you know, our mission is to research, preserve, and showcase this history, but also to teach it, and then to advocate for the pioneers. And so people really like what we're doing, and 47 has made a genuine effort. They really dug into this. You can see from the quality, the workmanship, the craftsmanship, the detail. I mean, it's really tremendous. And the other thing that when you look at this collection, what you have to realize when you look at it is how difficult it is from a development point of view to have many different silhouettes, many different embellishments, all in the same collection. Usually you have, you know, this style, but let's just do it in 8 different colors. That's easy. This is quite difficult to pull off. And so they've done that, and this is just the inaugural version. So, and then the fact that this type of collaboration is coming to Europe is also an industry first, because that's never happened before. So we're really proud of it. And 47, we had a launch party in London. This is how you guys found out through Wayne and the distributorships about the line. But we also had one in New York City. There was one in Chicago. There was one in Los Angeles. There was one in Pittsburgh, and also one in D.C. So based on the reaction and the reaction in the newspaper, the trade press, it's really just the beginning, I think. Mm-hmm. We're excited to work with them.
So in educating and teaching the history, how important do you think is such a collaboration?
Oh, it's tremendous, because these products, they're not just a t-shirt. This is a story that's waiting to be told. It's a conversation that's about to happen. It's a collaboration. It's history. It's finding common ground. It's talking and sharing and getting to know one another through the language of apparel. Just like music is its own language, fashion is its own language, sport is its own language. You can be walking down the street and a complete stranger, Wayne was telling us earlier, sees that pair of shoes that you have on and goes, "Oh, where'd you get those?" Now you have a whole conversation.
Right.
The same thing with apparel. It looks cool. It's not just a logo or a clever saying. It's something that's meaningful. And then that individual who buys it, they know the story. And 47 has done a great job of creating all of the supporting materials that go with it. Tremendous videos that have been made to tell the stories. NBA players have done shout-outs to this history, and the league knows about it, the players union knows about it, and they're very excited and they're genuinely interested. And I think 47 itself, also as a company, is on the rise. Like, they have ambitions that really want to grow, and they've done great collaborations, not just with us, but with others. So they're on the map. People recognize them. A couple of years ago, I don't know if that many people knew what 47 was, because it was twins and people knew twins, but now they're becoming much more of a lifestyle brand. And so we're really excited about that, because it's not just Black Fives, it's also that 47 logo, it's also the genuine nature of how they are, in the marketplace. So in terms of teaching this, when I go into a school and I have on a cap, or I show them something, or it's whatever the garment is, they can tell its quality.
Yeah.
And so that tells them immediately something about what is this. So I appreciate that opportunity to work with them.
This might be a mean question, but do you have any piece that you like, your favorite item from the collection, or a favorite detail on an item or something like that?
Well, I really like this logo that they came up with, which is the Black Fives. Of course, I like the Black Fives pieces, but I also, it's hard to pick a favorite, because I'm kind of like the daddy,
right.
And these are the kids.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to pick a favorite, but I think that they're all special. I've worn them all, and I will tell you, in terms of style, regardless of the team, I really love the satin jacket. The satin jacket is just awesome. It's comfortable. It's lined with a rich cotton lining that it's just butter. These long sleeves are beautiful. The pieces are done nicely. The tanks are tremendous. The long sleeves are great. The t-shirts are great. I'm wearing this Panthers t-shirt now. All of these have their own special meaning and story. And what I like is that they've been localized. So in Pittsburgh, they put some embellishments on there that are really meaningful in Pittsburgh. So if you wear that, now all of a sudden it's something that you're proud of, not just because of the Black Fives era, but because it's Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And like tying into that, maybe some people in Germany might find it difficult to relate to like these teams because they don't know the players or the teams in general. But I read that you have a interesting approach to fandom and how to connect to teams and because of their background and the city they exist in.
Yeah.
Could you talk about that a little bit?
That's right, sure. So for example, I believe, I have a theory that American fashion or American team wear, whether it's any of the major leagues, it's not so much that a kid or a customer here likes the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's that they somehow have an affiliation or affinity to what Pittsburgh means to them. So the Monticello Athletic Association was from Pittsburgh, and it's not so much the Monticello Athletic Association, it's that it's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was a steel producing, working labor town. So maybe if you're a kid from Köln, which is near Essen, which is near, the Wuppertal Valley, then that's like steel production, working, long industrial, the Kruppwerks and all that is there. So maybe there's a way to relate to that because this is like who we are. And it's the same for any other town. Maybe München is more, glamorous, fancy, so they could relate more to LA. I don't know, which is the, Hall of Fame, Los Angeles Red Devils and so on. But it could also just be, I love that logo.
Yes.
So either way, I think it's important to tell the story of that city and what that city's identity, what that city's personality was. Because just like in Germany and in Europe, every city has its own personality. Within everybody in Germany knows, okay, Frankfurt is like this, this Ruhrgebiet is like this, München is like this, and it has its own flavor. Berlin obviously has, maybe Berlin is probably the, maybe like the New York City of Germany, maybe, so maybe that's the Renaissance and the Rens. And by the way that Berlin was built up after the war, it really was a renaissance. Yeah. So if you wear that, you can say, yeah, I relate to that. I appreciate, the way that these link together. And if I had a chance to go to schools here in Germany, that's what I would do. I would talk about how maybe this is kind of like a sister city. Most towns have a sister city through the Chamber of Commerce or the Staatsamt, and there's a way to do that, and that's how I like to talk about it. And I think in general, this is about underdogs, right? So it's about creating something from nothing. It's about succeeding even though there was no recipe, even though no one told you how to do it. There was no formula and no one to help you, so you had to find a way to make it yourself. Right. And the hip-hop industry, the culture of streetwear is all about creating something from nothing, to express yourself, but also to fight for a cause. And so I think that people, wherever there's an underdog, wherever there's somebody that's trying to maybe either fight the system or just create something new within the system, and that should be every place, then that person can relate to this, because this is the story of men and women who were pioneers that created something from nothing, paved the way. And I think there's some inspiration there to motivate and get into the hearts of all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I hope that many people find their connection to this amazing collaboration and appreciate it for what it is, and also learn more about the Black Fires era and the history. And
thank you so much for talking about it.
Oh, you're welcome.
To us.
Yeah,
Thank you for making the trip.
Of course. It's a lot of fun, and I really appreciate and am honored and humbled that you guys are carrying our line, so extensively, and can't wait to be more supportive and help you in the future.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah.